In a flashback, we see Tagami fighting against the Lion's Head members, and as he defeats them on his own, it impresses Tamayama, so he makes him join them. Tamayama talks about how believing in strength alone means they can't give in to anyone, and Tagami mentions that he's been hearing that ever since he came there. After defeating another group on their own, Tamayama and Tagami return to the Lion's Head. Tamayama mentions that he and Tagami are racing to see who will become the strongest first. Tagami mentions that ever since they came to the Lion's Head, they've been told that they need to be strong if they want to be free, so they think the strongest person will also be the freest. Tagami thinks about how Tamayama embodies what it means to be a Lion's Head member, so he thinks that if Tamayama becomes the leader, they'll be even better than before. But after Tamayama becomes the leader, he tells Tagami that he thought being the strongest would make him free from everything, but he just finds it boring. He notes that every member of the Lion's Head should be as strong as him, and Tagami thinks he's planning to train them. There are a few members that rush over, and their leader mentions that a rival gang attacked one of them. But Tamayama kicks him and takes his jacket, telling him there's no place for the weak in their group. Tagami doesn't understand what he's thinking, but Tamayama reminds him that he's the leader, so he makes the rules. Tagami realizes that he's changed, but he still decides to help him remove the weak from their group. He tells Tamayama to keep laughing with the others, but he hopes that his previous self will one day return. We return to the present, as Sakura kicks Tagami in the stomach, but he realizes that Tagami is holding back. Sakura thinks about how he picked a fight with Tagami because he thought he knew everything about him, but he doesn't understand why he beat up Arima and Minoru. Sakura asks him what his goal is, and why he attacked his own members, so he mentions that the Lion's Head isn't a place for scum. He thinks about how he can't go back to his old self, because he needs to keep carrying Tamayama's mistake. But when he heard of Furin, he thought they could be the spark that could change the Lion's Head, which is why he dragged everyone into a fight. He tells Sakura he wants to go to the mountains, but Sakura tells him to stop daydreaming, and he plans to defeat Tagami, to prove that he's lame, telling him that after he's defeated, he should start acting cooler so he can fight him again. He calls Sakura selfish, telling him he's bragging against someone who's much more skilled than him, but Sakura starts to attack him, as he mentions that no matter how strong his opponent is, he'll never back down. He mentions that he'll never change, which makes Tagami think about his past, and as he spaces out, Sakura lands a kick on him. Tagami punches his face, which makes him smile, and he reveals that he knew Tagami wasn't fighting at full strength, so he decides to give it his all. As they start clashing, everyone's shocked to see that they're smiling, even though they're both getting hit.